what's happening, everybody? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and welcome to What the F.A.Q. F.A.Q. Season 4, episode 12, 13?
13.
13, and as always, I'm here with
Dylan.
And we are here to
Answer
be
five.
questionized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be questionized and answer five.
Yeah. Answer five and questionized. That's right. We here for your question pleasures.
Yeah, your questionable needs.
Yes, yes.
We actually do have some good questions this week. They're a little different, too, some of them.
Sweet.
Yeah, I guess we'll just roll right into it.
I'm going to jump in.
Yeah. This week, Matthew Anderson asks, any recommendations? Okay, I get it. Sorry, with the Q kind of threw me there. Any recommendations on a USA-made EQ pedal? He said he was thinking of going with the GE7 or the GEB7 from Boss, but he was on a quest to continue supporting U.S. production as much as possible, so he was still trying to hope to find one USA. Honestly, I would go with, MXR is still, they're still USA made, and they are a great starting point, especially the M108S, the silver one. That thing is pretty great for a graphic EQ. And then I was actually going to say we got to get a few more in, but yeah, that was the other one I was going to say is WMD. They're actually local to Colorado, local to Denver. They're just up the street.
Yeah, actually, we got to get check on an order. Yeah. I think we got some on order.
We do
for a customer. So I got to check that out.
Yeah. It's a parametric EQ, and honestly, it's the best like $200 you'll spend on an EQ especially if you're going to go USA made. It's one of the best ones you can get for the dough.
Good stuff. Oh, real quick before I forget, want to thank Ryan from RNA Music for in Texas for always mentioning us.
Oh, yes.
A lot in his videos. And if you don't know who he is, go check out RNA Music.
Yes.
In Canton, Texas. Your mom and pop lesson shop or something like that.
He's your friendly neighborhood Texas beard authority as well. So
yeah.
If you need like beard growing tips or anything like that, they also have those on hand.
Shreddy needs,
yes.
Stuff like that. Just wanted to throw out a mention to Ryan. I also wanted to thank Javier, who bought a guitar from us.
Oh, Javi? Yeah.
Last week, and he mentioned in a comment on the YouTube on the video last week, maybe it was last week or the week before, I don't remember. And we were talking about kind of what we do for our guitars, how we set them up, everything comes in, set up. And he mentioned on the video that he was going to come in and grab a guitar from us because of that. And he did.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say thanks. I appreciate that. He left a message on one of the social medias that said he picked it up. And I went back and I was going to say, hey, Javier, thanks.
I'm pretty sure
I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm pretty sure it's hot. Yeah, I was going to say, he's been coming in for pedals for a while, but then he was looking for an acoustic, and
Bell chain?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's, Javi, he's a good dude. He's actually a really good player, too.
Nice.
Him and his buddy do a lot of, home studio stuff, and the stuff they'd been bringing in was really good. Like, a little more, because I think they're both, I think Javi's from South America, I think. So it has a little bit. It has a little bit more of that flair.
Now I know who he is.
Yeah, he has a little bit more of that kind of, I don't want to say it's like full on flamenco. I'm sure he can probably play some of that, but he kind of adds that twist to some of his stuff. And
now I know who you're talking about because I was like, I know the name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same. Javi.
Yeah, and I think I know who it is. And now that you just mentioned that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him.
So I just wanted to say thanks, dude, because I know you mentioned that on social media somewhere, but I'm gonna take a 2-second gripe. Facebook. Why do you have Facebook Business Suite that links Facebook and Instagram, and every time somebody leaves a comment on one thing, you can't see it on the other effing thing?
Yeah.
Why does it even exist? Because I can never find the thing.
No, I hate that. Yeah, because it'll direct you to one, opens up the other one, and then it pivots back, and it's like it never.
Or it says it's not supported.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, well, then why the hell do you have this? Hey, Zuck, get your shit together.
Well, it's like, why do you guys own both companies? Why can't you guys make them seamlessly integrate?
Yeah.
Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, you meta fucked.
Yes.
That's what you.
Yeah, exactly.
Facebook. Jesus. Sorry. It really aggravates the shit out of me because I gotta keep clicking on all these apps and stuff, and it never shows me what I want. And then I gotta go to a laptop to actually find it.
Well, then they claim that they're trying to you know, own both companies to make both of them work more seamlessly, and yet they don't work together at all, hardly. And yeah, you can post one and it posts on the other. That's about it. Like, that's about as good as it gets, yeah.
At this point, who cares?
Right.
I mean, you could do that with most shit. So,
Right.
sorry, get your shit together.
Little gripe that, with Facebook.
Sorry, it drives me nuts. Anyway,
All
so
right.
moving on.
Yeah, Matt Pula, hopefully I'm saying his last name right. He is asking, and actually check out his channel. He's going to be doing he's got a few pedals on loan from us this week, and so he's hoping to be, I think he's got a couple Black Arts and maybe another one in there, but
Yeah, he
should have some demos coming out here soon.
Yeah, check Matt's channel out.
Yeah.
He put up the Black Arts one, the
was it the
Witchburn.
okay.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
nice,
Witchburn? Okay.
good demo, man, by the way. If you
Sweet. Yeah, but I was going to say those should be rolling out, or at least that was what he was saying. So if you guys want to check his stuff out,
And we'll share that on Facebook.
Yes,
I'll
yeah.
share that one. I was going to do it the other day, and then I got sidetracked with some other shit.
yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah, his question this week is thoughts on Jack White's company Third Man making pedals in collaboration with other companies. He said some of them seem pretty neat, like the Telegraph Octave pedal, which was done with Copper Sound, I think.
Yeah,
The Telegraph Octave pedal, the Bumble Buzz, also seems like a neat concept, but I'm not so sure about spending $325 on a fuzz pedal with no knobs. That is a good point. I was gonna say that is pretty damn steep.
for a fuzz pedal,
Yeah, and I was gonna say
fuzz is about the easiest.
well, it is, and it should be one of the cheapest, but it's
Yeah,
not.
it
It's
should.
not these days. Yeah, because honestly, fuzz should be like the effect for the masses. Like I feel like that should be the thing, and a lot of them are becoming like I get the boutique thing, but a lot of them are becoming more of this collector item side of things, where it's like here's these one-offs or here's this limited run of this.
Yeah,
so it
but-
ends up creating this, like, I don't want to say a false need, but it ends up creating more of a collector's market and not, like, and there's not guys that are going to be able to, like, no kid is going to be able to,
Well,
like,
that-
he's,
but that's-
he loves
I think-
Jack White and he's not going to be able to go buy this. Because, like, if I'd been a kid and I was into that stuff, like, yeah. You'll find an option, but that's a very alienating price, I would say.
I agree, but I mean, there's always going to be that stuff that the special runs and limited editions and all that. They've been doing that since the dawn of time.
Well, yes, but I feel like the pedal market in especially like the last 2 years, has really gone
because
steep.
I think they're running out of shit. It's like Hollywood that has to remake,
That's true.
The Princess Bride because they got no other ideas.
Print it in a different color, call it something else,
yeah,
and
I
then you
mean,
can sell more. Yeah.
And I get it, but
Well, I mean, I like the
Unique-
collector.
yeah.
It's a two-sided thing because like part of the
just like-
collector. Oh, sorry.
no, I was gonna say just like anything, any kids are gonna just buy whatever they can afford.
Well, and that was what I was going to say is I love pedals because they are keeping, like, out of all of our customer bases, I do have to say, like, right now, like, kids like 25 and under are way more interested in the pedals than they are like the amps and the other guitars, at least that are coming into to deal with us.
Yeah.
Like, all of the younger customers tend to be more on the pedal side of things.
They're more attainable though.
Well, they're more attainable, and that's why I think, like, when this stuff starts to happen, it starts becoming less and less attainable. Not that every kid is going to be like some, hugely into Jack White, but like, I'm picturing like Jake. Jake was like, Jack White was one of the first bands that Jake got into as a teenager. Like, if young Jake had set out to get one of these fuzzes, like, he never would have had it. Current
Right.
Jake wouldn't even spend that on them. Yeah, so it's like that. That's where I feel like certain things are rough, and I feel like in a weird way, like Jack White's usually promoting like things for the masses. Like, he wants to keep vinyl going, and a lot of controversies going on about like his reach out to the bigger companies. But it's like that's a cool thing that he is trying to keep alive. The pedals thing, like, I do think it's cool, but when you get into that collector's market, the price just
It
goes
starts
where
getting a little crazy.
it goes to where the collectors, and again, that's kind of even the thing that happens with the guitars now. It goes to people that don't use them to go make music. It's
People are trying to make their investment for the future
right.
in that, which is
Because I feel better
Probably
about
not.
the stuff. I mean,
it's not smart.
yeah, not that we have any business telling anybody how to use any of their stuff, but I do feel better about it when people buy stuff to make music with it, because
Well, yeah,
that's
no, I agree.
that's its intended use. So
There's plenty of companies that will sell you some shit you could put over your mantle. We
Yeah, there's enough
we
of
got
that
a few
in the
things
world.
that we got a few things at the shop that people have offered us money for that we're like, no, because you're just going to show your other dickhead friends that, hey, look at this cool thing I got, and I'm just not willing to sell it.
right,
Vintagey things that we're just
yeah, not for
willing to do.
not for a notch on your belt or
Yeah.
a trophy on the wall.
Another thing you can put in a pile with your other things. All right, so moving on, we got Ben Coombs, our preferred Canadian YouTuber, who asks, does anyone make a sitar emulator pedal for guitar?
They do. Electro Harmonics makes the Ravish sitar, which is actually, it's a really good one. It's very, it's hard to dial in. I will say that, like even if you're pretty knowledgeable about pedals, it's like it has a lot going on in terms of
There's a learning curve.
Yes, because
it's
yeah, you're basically trying to get harmonies, but you're also trying to get these, slightly dissonant sounds to kind of work with everything else, and so it can be a little hard to dial in, but it is a fun pedal. And another one actually that does this pretty good that I was surprised is the Boss SY200. I've been messing around, and I actually.
You found
I basically dialed in this weird octave setting, and then I just took the octave and just basically moved it to where it was just slightly out of pitch. And so it actually works pretty. Oh, spitting up.
We're good.
Yeah, all good. But yeah, anyway, I ended up messing with it, and it actually does it because you can also do the same, like the sustain feature, so you get that droning note.
Yeah.
So and then you play on top of it. Yeah. So you can kind of emulate a sitar on those, but yeah, the main one I've got experience with would be
Ravish sitar.
Yeah.
That's what I would suggest too. That's the only one I know really.
Yeah, I wonder if there's. It does make me curious though.
I got a feeling there's probably not a huge. It's probably not a huge call for it or market for it, but yeah, we might have to look at it.
It's something though that like I feel like if it had been able to exist at the right time, would have blown up. Like peak Rolling. Well,
like
no,
67.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Up.
Peak Beatles, peak Rolling Stones, when sitars started popping up in pop music. Like I feel like if that pedal had been around then, it would have blown up. But because like imagine that, like nobody needs that now, but back then there probably was millions of kids running around being like, "What the? How do I? Yeah, like how am I gonna get a sitar?" Like some kid in Wisconsin in like 1967, like how am I going to get
some kid in Indiana? Where do I find one of these? Oh, okay. All right, what do we got next?
Last two, I think, are from Nothing Here. First question is, do you ever substitute different tube types to change the gain structure or tone of an amp, such as a 5751 or a 12AT7, and substitute for a 12AX7 or other combinations? And then I'll read the other one in a minute, I guess.
So,
but doing different combos of preamp tubes. So specifically getting into preamp tubes, not powered amp tubes, so nobody gets confused there. I think we both have done a fair amount of that.
Yeah, like changing to an AU7.
Yeah, AY7s too.
Yeah, AY7s. In the pre, just so you can get more headroom, or if it's going to break up sooner. Depending on what you're...
Yeah, I've gone the other route too. Yeah, I've gone with hotter 12AX7s instead of like the slightly lower output ones just to get a little more gain. Right. Also gone the opposite. Yeah, I've definitely put other ones in the front end to lower the gain so that you could kind of make the amp work a little harder.
Yeah, and I've put ones in to give me more headroom, more clean headroom in an amp that would break up...
Sooner.
Traditionally would break up sooner.
Yeah.
Because you just need to bring that up.
Yeah, you got to give it that much more signal to get it to do the same thing. But yeah, I think we've both done a fair amount of that, and it's actually pretty useful. I mean, a lot of people, for whatever reason, are very apprehensive about. You really only need to get one of each to really try it. Like if you ever want to give it a shot, because it's not like you replace all of your preamp section with those tubes. You really only swap V1, which is the first one. So as long as you have like an AT7 and an AU7 and an AY7, you could theoretically pop each one in and just see what happens. And I feel like a lot of people are very apprehensive to do that for whatever reason. Most people just stick to like 12AX7s and never go down that rabbit hole, which I think it's more interesting because, I mean, arguably that's going to have more of an effect on your tone than swapping like the brand of power tubes. I mean, really, like most people are always going crazy about, I only play this brand of power tubes. But it's like at the end of the day, like the brand to brand, you're going to get less of a difference than you would swapping like a preamp tube in your front, in the front part of your gain stage, because that's going to be a completely different vibe.
Yeah,
I think the biggest difference was on the Mesa, the Mark IIB that you have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like that one, whoever had it before put like a 12AX7 that was kind of hot, and I think Steve gave you like an AT7 or AU7 or something, and it cleaned it. It kind of smoothed everything back out the way it was supposed to be.
Nice clean flavors.
Yeah.
All right, part two.
Yes. Do you have a specific tube brand? Oh, that's funny. Do you have a specific tube brand that you stick to, like JJ's, Electro Harmonics, Tongue Soul, Mullard? Which is funny because all of those are all Electro Harmonics now, unfortunately. Or not all of them, but they're via Electro Harmonics.
Right.
If so, why do you stick to that brand? This is actually a good question, and part of it, I was actually on, or I was in Ben's chat the other day with, what was his name? I think his name is like Jimmy Page, but he just goes by Jimmy Page 2 or something. It's not the Jimmy Page.
I said Jimmy Page.
Yeah, I said Jimmy Page. You gotta buy it.
You need to buy this last power, Jimmy Page.
But anyway, I guess
said no.
he was more of an amp tech side of things, and he had some pretty interesting points. But it was funny because he said pretty much the exact same thing I've been trying to tell people at the shop lately when they've been freaking out about brands that like, a 6L6 from Mullard and a 6L6 from Tongue Soul. Like, yeah, there is a difference, but whether you're going to really hear that, that's pretty arguable. That's a tough one to hear.
And sometimes the difference between the two might be literally just one click on your presence or one click on your mid-range or, like...
It's not a massive shift.
It's not a huge thing. Now, traditionally, I think for me, it's usually been like Tongue Soul or Mullard for like preamp.
Yeah, and I was going to say,
So Mullard's for like 12 AX7s or 12 AY7s or something like that. I like to go Mullard. Tongue Soul.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I have always loved Mullard for preamp tubes. That is specifically, I don't know why, because like I had some Tongue Souls on the preamp side once, and they were just, especially the V1 spot, that was the only spot I was really swapping. I noticed they were a little more like tinny, just a little bit, and that part I didn't like as much, whereas the Mullards were a little bit more, a little smoother. But yeah, in terms of sticking to brands, I'm sure there's certain brands out there that are maybe not as consistent, but these days a lot of them are getting checked in a similar way. And most of the market, I would imagine, is mostly the manufacturers of tube amps that are using up the bad ones. Most of the time, like by the time that it gets to the consumers, most people have either tested them and or filtered through most of the bad ones. So I would say for me, like JJ, Tongue Soul, Mullard, all three of those are all excellent. I don't have as much experience with Electro Harmonics specific branded tubes, but we've gotten tubes from them for years and not had problems. And
they check them all. That's where we get our tubes from, is through Electro Harmonics. Yeah. Mike Matthews owns one of the tube manufacturer companies or something like that. But as far as their processes, they check it all out. If we order quads of something, everything gets matched, and then it's sent to us. So what's nice is that we know by the time it gets to us, we can sell them with confidence and not.
There's no guarantee of something not failing, but they've at least done their due diligence to check it, and that's about as good as you can get with tubes, because tubes are one of those things. They're not designed to fail necessarily, but they're designed to be expendable and replaced. So it is one of those things. Like, I think as long as you're sticking to the main key brands that are out there, you're usually pretty safe with most of them. I know some people do get really attached to certain ones. Personally, I guess if I got to pick a favorite, JJ for power tubes. I get I was getting a lot of my JJ power tubes via Euro Tubes, if you guys are familiar with his website. And I particularly like his stuff because usually you can tell him what amp it's going to go into, and he'll pick the exact set at the rating you need, so that if you're trying to not do a rebias or you already know what's in your amp, he'll just straight up replace them, so you don't have to do a rebias. So I've always kind of liked him because it cuts off like a lot of the headache of like having to take it to a tech and getting it all swapped out and all that. But on that side of it, he also gets certain tubes that nobody else gets, like the KT77s. I think that's something that only Euro Tubes, or he only specifically gets them made for him. And so it's kind of cool because like those tubes are something that, they're not wildly different, but they are different than most of your typical. Yeah. And so it's kind of fun because I like that JJ actually went to the trouble of producing tubes that literally were extinct for 35 years. So I guess that's why I like JJ, if I had to narrow it down to a reason.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it this week. Did we want to do the Space Echo as part of this or a separate thing?
No, we're going to do it separate.
Okay. So if you're watching this video, get ready for another one down the line.
Maybe in a day or two, or maybe before.
Or maybe never. No. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
We've been trying to get this thing away for 4 weeks. So it's going to finally happen.
It's not like we're not busy.
So, all right. Yeah. So let's just, here, I'm going to do a pre-thing.
A preemptive. Yeah, another yeah.
We're going to give this thing away. We talked about it 2 or 3 weeks ago on F.A.Q. And, you know.
Well, and there it is. It's actually there.
Yeah. And shit happens. So, but here it is. So this is what we're going to do this contest on Instagram. So if you're not on Instagram, go over there and then follow us.
Step 1, yeah.
Yeah, step 1, go to Instagram. Step 2, find flipside_music_Denver. Subscribe to us because we're going to put out a video on Instagram and do it that way. You know, we're going to do the whole tag 2 friends, hashtag horseshit.
Wave
thing.
to your neighbor.
Yeah,
the whole
you know, all that,
yeah.
all the shit we hate, we're doing it. We're going to do it. So, giving this thing away free. And then I think what I was going to do, though, is if we hit a certain subscriber count, follower count.
Oh, might round it out.
We might do another, we might just do something else. Now, I don't even know what response we're going to get. Or should I tell them? I don't know yet.
No, maybe we leave it. Yeah, if we're surprised, then you guys get a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're surprised, you guys will get a surprise.
Yeah, we might do a secondary gift.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah.
I have no idea how many people that might.
I really don't know. We haven't really done we used to do the free shit Friday, but that was like a more close, that was just through this stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be a little more open, and Boss is actually partnering, or they're putting this up for the giveaway. So
yeah, I had to roll the regional rep in the parking lot. He was walking out, never knew it. What hit him?
Yeah, you like tripped him, stepped on his
next
shoelace.
thing he fell down. Yeah. I helped him in his car.
Yeah. Fell down in the parking lot, and then
anyway,
we had a quick discussion.
Yeah. So when we give this away, don't worry about the serial number.
Right, yeah.
Don't worry about it being scratched off. This is a wonderful plug.
It'll be like the very first thing whoever wins it gets is like, wait
a minute. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to do that here right after this, but I don't know when it's coming out. So
yeah.
All right. Well, then let's wrap this shit up.
All right.
Zig, you got anything to say, bud?
No, his face is all stuck from being asleep on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.